computer thing?
Okay, I hear you now. Yeah, I haven't. We're gonna have to go through PCR one until I figure out what's going on with weather 5 again.
Same thunderstorm that we were looking at about 10 minutes ago, coming out of northwestern areas of Travis County and sliding into Williamson County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:15 with this thunderstorm that's moving off towards the northeast. This thunderstorm could be producing wind gusts of 60 miles per hour as well as 3/4 inch size hail. So this is a thunderstorm that has really ramped up in intensity, and we'll put this into motion so you can see how it's been coming out of first Burnett County and then moving through northwestern sections of Travis County and now approaching places like Leander, Cedar Park, and also the Georgetown area. So first I'll show you who is included in this warning. And Georgetown, Leander, portions of Cedar Park also included, Liberty Hill not included, Round Rock not included, but the thunderstorm could be producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And we were looking at this about 10 minutes ago. There is evidence on the Doppler radar of some intense winds right along 183 north of Leander into the south of Highway 29. You can see right in here some really intense winds in this turquoise color, and that's going to be making its way right across Highway 29. Just a few miles to the west of Georgetown. These are going to be straight line winds. That's why the warning has been posted for the threat of straight line winds. There's a look at the warning again at till 4:15. So we're going to be tracking this with you continuously here on KVUE, on the TV side, as well as on the digital side as these thunderstorms continue to roll on in. So let's do a reset here, and I'll show you what's happening across the rest of the area. And what we were fearing is that this line of thunderstorms that started off towards the west in the hill country about an hour ago would get stronger as they approached the I-35 corridor, and that's exactly what has happened with that severe thunderstorm moving into southwestern Williamson County. We've got heavy downpours in western areas of Travis County, northwestern sections of Hays County, and we'll keep an eye on those thunderstorms as well, potentially turning strong or severe. One thing that we're also going to be monitoring is the hail threat. We'll turn on Hail Tracker, and thankfully this thunderstorm that's severe, crossing 183 and 183A between Leander and Cedar Park, is producing just small hail below severe weather limits when it comes to hail. That could change, though, as it gets a little bit closer to Georgetown. This is a mean thunderstorm. We'll go back to live Doppler radar, and you can see how we're starting to see a little bit of a bowing going on, like a bow from a bow and arrow. That is an indication that the radar is picking up on intense winds going out ahead of this thunderstorm. So if you are in Georgetown, or if you live out here towards the west of Georgetown, right along either north or south of Highway 29, want to make sure that you're just in a safe spot. And when we say that when it comes to severe thunderstorms, safe spot's just a room that does not have windows. That's a place you don't want to be with extreme wind gusts like this. There's a look at the Doppler radar from New Braunfels, but the radar out of Granger is really picking up on this intense signature of winds right in here. We'll zoom in and I'll show you. There's the thunderstorm activity, and these turquoise colors are indicating potential for intense winds, maybe as high as 60 miles per hour. We can actually query some of these winds, some of these pixels here, and show you what the Doppler radar is picking up. 67, 69 mile per hour winds. Now that's going to be about 1,800 feet above the surface, but at least 60 mile per hour winds could be possible mixing down towards the surface. This is not a tornadic situation. This is straight line winds, which certainly can be just as damaging as a weak tornado. And there's the latest frame coming in showing those intense winds moving quickly now away from 183 and not too far from Highway 29 and the Ronald Reagan Boulevard area, right there around Ranch Road 2243 to the west of Georgetown. This is where we have those straight line winds that are going to be pushing into Georgetown here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So Georgetown remains under the severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. Jason Mikell is here in the Storm Center with me. He's on the backup microphone for our director. And Jason, you're monitoring information coming in from the National Weather Service. Are we learning anything new there?
Yeah, that is correct. So they're getting some very heavy rainfall moving through downtown Austin at this hour, and also pea-sized hail being reported up in the Leander area. Leander, Lago Vista residents, make sure that you are staying safe and indoors as well. We have also been receiving some reports also on our digital page here for the Dripping Springs area, very heavy rainfall there, and also the pea to penny size hail. Again, as you were saying, Albert, along that 183 corridor there, some very intense wind gusts
Look
at
this,
this
just
hour.
in the last 3 minutes, we just got ground reports of a near 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. So this isn't not just technology, it's not just radar showing us that we've got these intense winds, but now we've got ground reports from a storm spotter reporting 50 to 60 mile-per-hour straight-line winds near Leander just in the last 3 minutes. So serious situation. Again, not tornadic, but these straight-line wind events can be just as damaging. If you get wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, that can bring down tree limbs, that can knock out power, that could bring down a tree limb and break out a window. So if you're in this part of Williamson County between Leander and Georgetown, as of right now, we want to make sure that you're in a safe place, you're in a location, a room that does not have windows. That's the most important thing about it. And if you live to the north, to the south of Georgetown, and also towards the east of Georgetown near the toll road, you're included in this polygon warning, and it's important that you also get into a safe spot. So we're going to be keeping an eye on the wind signature on this. Again, now we have ground reports of 50 to 60 mile-per-hour wind gusts coming in with this thunderstorm. So Georgetown, you're just a few minutes away from this severe thunderstorm to move through your area. Gerald, you're currently not included in this polygon warning, nor is Hutto or Taylor. But if you have a Hutto mailing address, you live north of the city of Hutto, maybe along 183, or you live back off towards the northwest of Taylor, you got maybe a Taylor mailing address, you may be included in the severe thunderstorm warning. There's a look at live Doppler radar once again. And these thunderstorms are getting stronger. Even these thunderstorms moving into northern sections of Travis County, North Austin, near the Arboretum and the Domain, they're strong. And one thing that we're going to keep an eye on over the next few minutes to see if they get any stronger. Right now, they're not severe, and any kind of hail is mainly confined to that Leander and Georgetown thunderstorm. Down in the southern areas of Travis County, it's just moderate to heavy downpours near the airport. But take a look at what's moving into Hayes County. This is a strong thunderstorm approaching Dripping Springs, below severe weather limits, but could still be producing 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and maybe even some small hail, maybe dime to penny-sized hail coming in from the west. You can see a little bit of that gray showing up on our hail tracker. This is a line of thunderstorms, one of which that we've been tracking for several days now, that will cross the interstate here within probably the next 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to notice the wind picking up as well as potentially some hail. I'm seeing some video in one of my monitors here. So let's take this video. This is from Leander of the heavy rain moving in. Again, it was just about 5 minutes ago that we got reports of wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. My producer telling me that we have reports of a fence being knocked down. So this is Andrew McKibben's house, our executive producer's house, his family taking this video. So you can get at the idea of the intense winds that are moving through Leander. In Georgetown, this is what's headed your direction right now. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to remain in effect for almost the next hour until 4:15 for this thunderstorm that's up here towards the north. We'll highlight the warning for you with that thunderstorm coming on in. So intense winds, hail possible, but the reason this warning is out is for those straight line winds. Just keeping an eye on the latest information from the National Weather Service. And again, Jason Mikell is here with me as well. He's monitoring the social feeds and the National Weather Service feeds. Anything new on your end, Jason?
Still much of the same, though. But again, like as you were just saying, we do want to emphasize that wind possibility up to about 60 miles per hour. Hail threat, again, is a possibility. We've already had some reports near the 183 corridor of about 0.2, maybe about a quarter of an inch in size of hail. So reports of maybe perhaps a pea to penny size hail. So on top of the heavy rainfall that we're tracking, the very damaging wind gusts 50 to 60 mile per hour, as Albert was just saying, there's a hail threat as well. And also in addition to that, the flash flooding threat. So we do still have that flash flood advisory in effect for the Austin area this afternoon, even into the evening hours, as once we get this line of showers moving through and moving out of the area. This is prime time, at least for the rush hour. So anybody that's at work, anybody that's out on the roadways, this is something that they definitely need to keep on top of within the next hour, hour and a half.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and whenever you get wind gusts that high, 50 to 60 miles per hour, brings down the tree, could knock out power. So if you've got, good power right now, I would make sure that your smartphone is nice and charged up. Right now, we are streaming this coverage, not only here live on TV, but we are live right now on the Facebook page, the Twitter page, YouTube Live, and also on all digital platforms, including our KVUE News app. So make sure and download that app. That way, if you do lose power at your house, you'll be able to get this continuing coverage as it continues to come on in. So the reason, again, why we're on the air this afternoon is this severe thunderstorm warning. They have trimmed out the warning just a bit. You'll see this update here in just a few minutes. And what they're going to do is they're going to trim out Travis County, and it's just going to be now for Williamson County until 4:15. Main threats, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Getting reports from Emergency Management Office in Williamson County that County Road 177 water crossing now closed due to water over the road. So that's something else we're going to be paying attention to because of these heavy downpours. Because of this morning's rainfall, the soil is saturated, so this may be the first of many low water crossing issues. And unfortunately, this is coming in on one of the busiest days of the week and busiest times of the day during a work day, as rush hour is going to really start to ramp up within the hour. The good news is the heaviest rainfall will be shifting away from the interstate by the time we head towards 5 o'clock. But our friends out east in Milam County, Lee County, Bastrop, Fayette County, they're the ones that are going to have to deal with this as we get closer to the 5 o'clock hour. So we're tracking one severe thunderstorm. That one is up here in Williamson County, moving into Georgetown right now. We've got strong thunderstorms moving through Travis County, and this is the next one to watch, everybody. See this thunderstorm right in here in Hayes County, starting to get a little bit of a bow signature, so we're starting to see probably an acceleration of winds with that thunderstorm. We'll kind of investigate this a little bit. So nothing too intense with that thunderstorm right now, but that's something to watch if you're in Kyle, Buda, and also in San Marcos. We'll come back up here towards the north, get a check of the scan across Austin. Light to moderate rainfall across Austin, heavier downpours out in North Austin, the Arboretum, the Domain area. We'll check hail tracker. No real big hail with this thunderstorm activity. That's good. We'll get a check of any kind of rotation and not getting any kind of indications of anything tight when it comes to rotation. But we'll take a look at our velocity scan, the wind scan, and you can still see these intense winds, potentially as high as 60 miles per hour right along Texas 29 and heading into Georgetown right now. So Georgetown, the winds are really going to start to pick up coming in from the west. Getting reports of at least some minor damage in and around Leander, especially just north of Leander, with a fence down in one neighborhood. And you can see these turquoise colors. This is the indication of these wind gusts, anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour moving into Georgetown. So who's next? So Georgetown is ready to go. If you're in Weir, if you are along 130, the toll road 130, right in here in this part of Williamson County, and then 29 as you head out towards the east of 130, you're also included in the severe thunderstorm warning. So this most intense wind is going to continue to track off towards the east just like that, and you'll be in line for this severe weather as well. So we're keeping an eye on all of these thunderstorms, and what we're going to do now is load our future radar just so you can get an idea of what's going to happen, and we'll see what it says at 4 o'clock. So the model is about 30 minutes behind, but it's doing a good job showing those intense thunderstorms beginning to shift to the east of the interstate as we get closer to the 5 o'clock hour. And this particular forecast model is indicating the potential for severe weather east of the interstate at 5 o'clock in places like maybe Elgin around Bastrop, eastern areas of Williamson County, down towards the Lulee and Lockhart area. As we head towards 6 o'clock, potentially we see some strong and severe thunderstorms moving into Giddings, Lexington, Lincoln, areas of Fayette County into Milam County. And then at 7 o'clock, the majority of this stuff begins to shift out of the area with just some lingering showers for the mid-evening hours, and then we'll dry out after that. So the severe weather threat is starting to decrease if you're in the hill country from along 281 westward. That severe weather threat is ongoing here in the Austin metro and points to the east of the interstate. And you can see the cluster of lightning with these thunderstorms as well, where the most intense lightning is with that thunderstorm up in Williamson County. And just in the last 15 minutes, that thunderstorm for the most part has produced over 300 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. All right, our storm chaser is out on the road. Tell me again where they're at. Okay, so the storm chaser is in North Austin right now. We just got reports in the newsroom of potential high water rescue. So that's where the storm chaser is headed out right now. So it's not just a severe weather threat. Lamar and Rutland, that's where the storm chaser is right now. Again, it's not just going to be the severe weather threat this afternoon, but also the flash flood threat. We say it a lot. You got to heed the warning in days like today and every day. Turn around, don't drown. These low water crossings, they can get flooded out in a very short amount of time. And we heard at least one low water crossing that was closed. The County Road 177 water crossing up in Williamson County with water over the road. And we'll probably hear a lot more over the next hour. So avoid these low water crossings. I know sometimes it's something you cross on a daily basis because you got to cross it because you got to get home. It's a day that you just don't want to risk it. And take a look at the water in some of the roads. Speaking of water, I just spilled my whole cup of water. My engineer is not going to be happy with me. So there's a look at the live storm chaser right now as those thunderstorms are moving through, again, the North Austin part of the area. Let's go back to Doppler radar, and we'll keep an eye on the storm chaser. And the heavy thunderstorms continue from Hayes County to Travis County to Williamson County. The most intense thunderstorms right now are in Williamson County with this severe thunderstorm warning that's moving through the Georgetown area right now. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until at least 4:15. We'll see what the National Weather Service does as this gets extended back off towards the east of the interstate. Doppler radar not only showing intense rainfall and cloud to ground lightning, but we're also seeing indications on Doppler radar of intense winds moving right over Georgetown and just north of Georgetown along I-35. Not as intense as it was just about 7 minutes ago, but you can see these lighter greens near turquoise colors. Those are the intense winds, potentially as high as 60 miles per hour coming on in.
Now, just outside of that polygon, as you zoomed in and showed that too, we've had some reports on our social media account as well of Rouse High School. They've gotten reports, and I believe that's in the Round Rock area, pea-sized hail in that area. And also the Brushy Creek subdivision has received within 20 minutes a half-inch of rainfall. Yeah. So on top of that, this is something that is sort of a multi-dynamic sort of system dropping hail, wind gusts, and also very heavy rain.
Well, let's get an update about Austin, and maybe our director can take Cam 22. That's our downtown camera, and we've got these showers and storms moving into Austin. These are non-severe. That's the good news, but these are some heavy thunderstorms coming on into Austin and blowing rain. And it's going to cause for some slick conditions along I-35 as these thunderstorms continue to press off to the east. But these are non-severe right now. Whenever you get Cam 22 ready, you're welcome to take it, Phil. And there you see the heavy thunderstorms moving through Hayes County as well, right along 290 between Dripping Springs and southwest Austin. And those thunderstorms are pinwheeling from the southwest and will be producing potential for wind gusts anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour. And those thunderstorms also will be moving in to downtown. But at the moment, those thunderstorms are non-severe. If you are here in Williamson County, and again, we're getting wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour with some of this thunderstorm activity. We are streaming live on the KVUE News app, KVUE.com, our Twitter and Facebook page. So we've got you covered just in case the power does go out. There is our live camera from downtown Austin looking off towards the southwest. And it is messy out there. We don't need severe weather in the height of downtown to cause issues. And we are getting a good downpour. That's going to slicken up the roadways here over the next several minutes. And that's also going to be the potential for maybe some small hail embedded in this thunderstorm activity. So we're going to pinwheel the camera and take a look around. This is looking off towards the due west. And this is going to be eventually pinwheeling, and you'll be able to see, if the rain's not too heavy, you'll be able to see the UT campus and also this Texas State Capitol. There you see the state capitol right there. So it's a messy, stormy afternoon here in Austin and across the KVUE viewing area as we approach 3:30. I'm KVUE Storm Team meteorologist Albert Ramon alongside meteorologist Jason Mikell, and we're working a severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon up in Williamson County. This thunderstorm capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and also some small hail, about 3/4 inch size hail. The most intense part of this thunderstorm is right along the interstate north and south of Georgetown and continuing to move off towards the east. So if you live in eastern areas of Williamson County, north of Hutto, north of Taylor, you want to watch this thunderstorm closely as it continues to produce wind gusts potentially in the 50 to 60 mile per hour range. If we can go back and show you that video that we had from Leander about 10 minutes ago. If you're just now jumping up on the live stream, you're just now joining us here on TV, this is what it looked like, about 15 minutes ago in Leander, where we have ground reports of 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, just intense wind. The homeowner is our executive producer, Andrew McKibben. His family reports that their fence, at least part of their fence, has been knocked down because of the extreme rain and, of course, the extreme winds that are coming in with this isolated severe thunderstorm. The atmosphere overall is a lot more unstable along and east the interstate. So this may be the first of a few warnings that we're going to have to work this afternoon. And we've got you covered. Again, you know, every life is precious, so it doesn't matter if it's in Austin or in Georgetown or Bastrop or Jarrell or Blanco. We're gonna cover these thunderstorms, make sure that you know what's happening. And one thing also we're going to keep an eye on, along with the severe weather threat, is also the flash flood threat. We have a flash flood watch in effect until late tonight, up until midnight. And we also have a severe thunderstorm watch. This covers most counties of the KVUE viewing area, all of the Austin metro and points to the east, and most counties west of the interstate until 7 o'clock. ATXfloods.com is a great thing to look at if you're about to hit the road and you got to get home and you want to make sure roads are looking pretty good. This is something that is excellent for you to use as a bookmark. And you start to see these red dots pop up. There's a lot more red dots than there were 20 minutes ago. And these are low water crossings that are now beginning to close. These are the normal low water crossings that we hear about all the time. As these strong downpours come on in, we may see additional low water crossings pop on up. But this is a great resource to keep an eye on. The KVUE Storm Chaser is up in North Austin, headed northbound, and they are working on a potential high water rescue. So hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully the person is safe, but we're going to keep an eye on that. And that's where the Storm Chaser is live right now in, it looks like a neighborhood in North Austin, potentially coming up towards a low water crossing. So we've got our whole crews both here in the Storm Center and the newsroom keeping an eye on this thunderstorm activity as it continues to move from west to east. The good news is you can see those intense downpours lined up across the interstate. Once this shifts off to the east, things are going to get a lot quieter. This line of thunderstorms, like we saw a week ago, is going to wring out the atmosphere of both moisture and instability, and then we'll just have lingering showers here in Austin once this passes within the next 45 minutes or so. And then tomorrow looks great, looks beautiful. Meteorologist Jason Mikell in the Storm Center keeping an eye on everything outside of what we've been talking about. Direct connect with the Weather Service and anything you're seeing special on social media, Jason?
It still looks the same. We still did get that viewer reporting a fence and a tree down near Benbrook Ranch. That's also over in Leander. That was just in from a spotter. And as you were saying, we're still kind of expecting this line of showers and thunderstorms to move through over the next hour or so, and behind that quiet down. But all in all, I think most of the reports that we're receiving in this evening is much of the same, from the hail through also the damaging wind gusts and also the very heavy rain. Again, as we want to point out to you, so once this wind is moving through your area and gusting, heavy rainfall, that is going to severely limit visibility across the area this evening, just in time for the rush hour. So making sure that everybody is lowering those speeds and seeking alternate routes, especially coming home in the evenings. If you're going through low water crossings or anything such as that, just find an alternate route. Just text your friends, text your family members to find alternate routes as they're traveling home this evening, because that will certainly keep them safe. We're not really receiving a whole lot of reports in terms of large hail. I know that was a scare for us last week. So penny-sized hail has been the bulk of what we've been receiving this afternoon in terms of our hail size. Gusty winds, again, about 50 to 60 miles per hour. But all in all, I think that is kind of keeping things a bit more on the conservative side. Some small limbs coming down here, but overall, Albert, nothing too terribly severe, at least at this point.
Some good news to pass along to you as well. The Storm Chaser was headed towards the Lamar and Rutland area for a high water rescue. That water rescue now wrapping up. We got reports that Travis County EMS trying to get somebody out of a creek. No word on their condition just yet, but hopefully they are A-OK. And now the Storm Chaser is going to head up towards Georgetown, where we have these strong winds moving across central areas of Williamson County. That polygon, that severe thunderstorm warning, they issue these not county-based, but these little geometric shapes. We call them polygons. You can see how it's pretty small right now. No longer includes Travis County, and really just includes central areas of Williamson County. Included is the city of Georgetown. So if you live in Georgetown proper, or you have a Georgetown mailing address, you're still in this warning, and you're certainly feeling the wind and rain. Weir and the Serenata area also dealing with this severe thunderstorm. There's a look at live Doppler radar, and now the most intense part of the thunderstorm is shifting away from Georgetown. We'll get a new scan here on the Doppler radar. And you can see the Doppler radar is not far away, near Lake Granger. And the good news is the wind's not nearly as intense. So we actually may see this warning drop here in the next couple of minutes. The Weather Service is going to keep an eye on it. They just don't pop these things up and pop them down, because these thunderstorms can at times pulse back up. But we're not looking at the strong signature on the wind side just at the moment like we were just about 20 or 30 minutes ago, and that's certainly some good news. Still an intense thunderstorm nonetheless, with cloud to ground lightning, heavy rainfall, and you can see how it's pinwheeling up towards the northeast. So Bartlett area, southern and central areas of Bell County will have to deal with this thunderstorm. And even if you live in the western and northwestern sections of Milam County, this thunderstorm is headed your direction. Let's just do a check on all of these thunderstorms. We'll take a look at if there's any kind of shear or any kind of rotation in the atmosphere. It doesn't seem to be anything all that strong. We'll take a look at hail tracker. And there's a little bit of a hail core. Thankfully, the thunderstorms today have not been hail producers, and it'd be great if that's how it stays, but maybe some small hail, dime-sized hail moving out of Georgetown, probably right in this part of the viewing area now. We'll widen out the view, and we'll go a little bit closer to Austin and get a check of any kind of rotation with these thunderstorms, and nothing to speak. That's the good news. Let's take a look at these thunderstorms. These thunderstorms moving out of eastern Travis County, right in here, and about to move into western and northwestern areas of Bastrop County. Starting to get some signatures on both the radar out of Granger and the radar from New Braunfels, some intense winds. So we'll keep an eye on these thunderstorms that are continuing to move off towards the east right in here. That's an interesting signature on the Doppler radar between Manor and Elgin. Anytime you start to see this little hook signature, could be the early indications of some rotation. I'm going to load the nearest Doppler radar and maybe some broad rotation. Broad rotation is okay. Thunderstorms rotate. What you don't want is tight rotation, because that could be the precursor to a tornado. So we're going to keep a close eye on that, just because that radar signature near Manor to the south and to the southeast of Manor has caught our eye as that thunderstorm continues to move off towards the east as well. Thunderstorms also along I-35 from South Austin to Buda and Kyle. Got some heavier downpours, especially just south of San Marcos, kind of closer to the outlets, and as you get closer to the Comal County area along I-35 there in Hayes County. And if you are watching us from the Bastrop area, Lockhart, Luling, LaGrange, Giddings, Lincoln, Lexington, Cameron, Rockdale, these thunderstorms are advancing closer to you. We've got lingering showers on the back side of this line of thunderstorms in the hill country, but those are non-severe. The two areas that we're keeping an eye on right now is this thunderstorm activity that's in Williamson County, that's severe, potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And now this thunderstorm moving away from Manor and closing in on Elgin. It's not severe right now, but the signature on the radar, both on the reflectivity, what you're seeing here, and the velocity, which way the winds are spinning, is giving us some indications that is a strengthening thunderstorm. And we're going to keep an eye on that in a close way. All right, we've got a couple of new photos coming in via Twitter, and this is going to be the Leander area. You know, drainage ditch, but heavy rainfall is adding up again from Leander. We had video just about 25, 30 minutes ago of in those intense winds that moved through Leander, and ground reports of wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And here's a little bit of lightning and heavy rain and wind with this tweet sent to us. There you see the lightning. And this is also, I believe, in Leander area as well. And these thunderstorms now beginning to shift away from Georgetown and making their way into eastern areas of Williamson County. So again, we are streaming on all of our platforms. We're going to stay on TV just for the duration of this warning. If we get a hint from the National Weather Service that they plan on canceling this early, we'll get you back to TV. Since this is impacting a lot of people, and we've got an active warning right over Williamson County, we thought we'd stay with you here on the TV side. And even if we send you back to programming, we're going to be live for the duration of this on Facebook, Twitter, KVUE.com, the KVUE News app, YouTube Live. It's hard not to find us. We're just going to be everywhere this afternoon like we were with you last week about this time. So thunderstorms lining up across the I-35 corridor from Williamson County. And now the heaviest activity beginning to shift away from downtown Austin. The heaviest is right along 290, again, between Manor and Elgin. Pflugerville seeing some heavy downpours right now. It's pouring buckets right now out around Lake Pflugerville. We'll zoom in and I'll show you that part of northeastern areas of Travis County. And these thunderstorms are going to be picking up in a big way as they cross Texas 95 from Taylor southward towards Elgin. Just going to get another check on the velocity scan and starting to see some indications of at least some rotation. Nothing really all that strong, but want to monitor this one in a big way. This thunderstorm that's between Manor and Elgin, just because we're getting at least some broad rotation kind of right in here. Doesn't mean a tornado's forming, but it just gives us a heads up that we should watch that very closely on all these scans, and we'll certainly do that for you. I'm just going to look at both the radar out of Granger, and let's take a look at the radar out of New Braunfels. And the New Braunfels radar even showing that broad rotation, albeit well above the surface. So again, it's this thunderstorm that has really caught our eye here in the last couple of minutes. Non-severe at the moment, but we're going to keep an eye on it. Maybe some teeny tiny hail. We're talking maybe pea-sized hail with this thunderstorm to the south of Lake Pflugerville, not too far from the Austin Executive Airport. One other thing that we're keeping an eye on as we continue our live conversation here are your questions and comments. I'm keeping an eye on your questions and comments here on the KVUE Facebook page. Carol is out in Taylor and says the winds have really picked up. She says the winds have picked up tremendously. Carol is in Buda and says they're getting hit hard. Also, Una is saying that there's some really heavy rainfall in the William Cannon and Westgate area. Tiffany is saying to be careful. The cross-section of Crystal Falls and 183 is flooding. That's in the Leander Cedar Park area. Heavy wind and rain. Daphne is reporting that from Gerald. Audrey is in Leander and says that things are getting better now and wants to know if she can pick up the kids from school. Yeah, things are calming down in the Leander area as far as heavy rainfall and storms. But we still have those flash flood concerns, getting reports of those low water crossings in and around your area. So be careful with that if you're going to go pick up the kids from school shortly, and I know many of you will be. So there, your iPad or your Android tablet on the KVUE News app or Facebook or Twitter, and that's why we're going to stay on this continuous. Joyce is in the Creedmoor and Mustang Ridge area. That's in the southern sections of Travis County, and says the wind has really picked up along with the rain. This is non-severe, but yeah, you're right. This is heavy thunderstorm activity, and portions of Hayes, Travis, and Williamson County under a flood advisory, just to kind of give us a heads up that these low water crossings, we may have issues right now and ongoing through rush hour. Jason Mikell, what do you have for us?
Yeah, we got some power outages being reported right now. I'm trying to pull that up so we can see exactly what that looks like on the map here. But we do have some low water crossings that have been closed in Peachtree Lane, Cypress Lane, and I believe Summit Lane. Those are all in Cedar Park at this hour. So very heavy rainfall that has moved through this area. I know we have been receiving some reports from several viewers here on our digital platform, so that is great. We'd love to receive your comments on there as well. But again, the major concern right now is this heavy rainfall and gusty winds at this hour. Some of those areas and also those roadways that have been receiving this rainfall steadily through the past 24 hours, at least beginning at midnight last night, they're going to begin to stack on some water as we get this shower, this line of showers, very heavy rainfall moving through.
Jason, thank you. Molly Oak, our colleague, is in the KVUE Storm Chaser, the Storm Chaser right now in North Austin, and Molly is standing by with a report of what she's encountering now. Molly?
Yeah, so we've been seeing a lot of different things. You're kind of seeing different spots. So sometimes we're seeing that downpour rain where it's almost hard to see through the windshield, right? And now we're seeing a little bit of a calmer patch. I want to flip you guys around so you can see what we're seeing. I think you can see it now. Yeah, we're good. With the roof cam from the Storm Chaser. So bare minimum really pooling on the side of the roads. We see someone trying to cross with a poncho. Best of luck to him. Yikes, this is a time definitely to be inside your house. Of course, traffic moving really slowly out here, only expected to get worse once we come into rush hour. We're actually going to head up toward Georgetown via 183, Albert, so we'll check back in with you guys once we get up there, because that's, I think, where it's expected to be a little bit worse.
Molly, thank you. Be safe out on the roadways. And as we tell the KVUE Storm Chaser, like we tell you at home, turn around, don't drown. You encounter water over the road, it's just not worth it. Find an alternate route. Also getting some new video in from Georgetown. This is that severe thunderstorm that moved through Georgetown about 10 minutes ago. And we'll load that up for you, but getting reports of strong winds in Georgetown, but just heavy downpours as well. Here's that video just coming on in. And we'd love to see your videos. Just use the hashtag KVUE, and that gets to our digital team, and then we're able to load it up here on the air and share it to the rest of our viewers. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Williamson County, central and eastern Williamson County. The most intense part of this thunderstorm now shifting away from Georgetown. But if you live near Granger, if you live near Weir, this thunderstorm is right over you and still has a potential for wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. We're thankful that the thunderstorms today, even earlier this morning, have not been big hail producers. That's been great news, but straight line winds, something that is going to continue to be a threat for us, along with quick spin up tornadoes, although we've only had one thunderstorm that was really rotating earlier earlier this morning down around the Fayette County area. And the third thing you have to watch out for is the flash flood potential. No active flash flood warnings right now, but there are active flood advisories that are in effect, with numerous now water crossings, low water crossings becoming closed because of that. Getting some thunder here at the KVUE studio. So let's do a reset, everybody, at 3:44, and as soon as this watch disappears, we'll send you back to programming. But we just want to make sure that whether people are just getting home or people are just tuning in, that everyone has the same information. Behind this frontal boundary, the temperatures are cooling, rain cooled in the upper 50s in Fredericksburg and Blanco. And as those temperatures continue to cool, the atmosphere is now stabilizing to the west of the interstate. That's the good news. So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, once this line of thunderstorms shifts to our east, we're going to be done with a severe weather threat. We'll just have some lingering shower activity and storm activity. I'm going to load the big perspective Doppler radar and zoom out, see if anything else is headed our way. And you can see there are some thunderstorms coming in out of Mexico, but those will stay to the south of us. We do have this moisture feed that is coming in from the southwest, from near Uvalde and San Antonio, and kind of coming on in from the southwest. So we'll watch that. Anytime you see that back building or showers building to the southwest and move over the exact same locations, we call that training, as a train car goes over the exact same tracks. And that training effect can add up multiple inches of rainfall and could mean that there could be some flash flood potential, and that's why that flash flood watch is posted until midnight for tonight. I'm going to just keep an eye on anything new from the National Weather Service. And the only new thing here from the Emergency Management Office is that a low water crossing at Peachtree Lane, Cypress Lane, and Sumac Lane in Cedar Park are now closed. So if for some reason you got to go on the road, I know you either got to go home from work or you got to get somewhere, you got to go pick up the kids, atxfloods.com is a great resource. We're so lucky that our city and that our area has this, and you're able to see low water crossings. There it is. And you're able to interact with those low water crossings and find out exactly where it's at. And as you go from point A to point B, if you're going to have to interact with any of those. We're getting some new photos also loading on in. Look at this. Looks like some small hail in the Cedar Park area. So yeah, confirming with that small hail. And here's some video from Round Rock as those heavy showers and thunderstorms moved on in. I think the most intense video we saw was about 30 minutes ago with those wind gusts coming into a Leander neighborhood. Reports of at least some fencing down there. If that's all the damage we get out of this, we're going to be doing okay. And they're going to cue up that video again here in the next few minutes. All right, back to Doppler radar. In the meantime, I'm keeping one eye on what the Weather Service is saying and the other eye on the radar to make sure that you have the latest information. And there's that squall line that is moving on in right now. Most intense part of this thunderstorm is now outside of the warning area. So this is from Granger to Taylor, intense thunderstorm that's moving off towards the east-northeast. This is going to be clipping portions of Thorndale as well as northwestern sections of Milam County. We'll take a look at the velocity scan with this, and we're still getting at least some indications of intense winds coming on in, not nearly as strong as they were as we joined you here about 45 minutes ago, but this is still intense thunderstorms that are moving through eastern areas of Williamson County. We'll get a check on the rest of them. Gosh, these thunderstorms that are moving into northwestern Bastrop County, these are coming in with some intense winds, maybe an outflow boundary kind of right in here. I wouldn't be surprised if the winds coming into Elgin out ahead of this thunderstorm and approaching Camp Swift and maybe the Cedar Creek area are producing over 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts as those thunderstorms continue to move off towards the east at about 35 miles per hour. Hayes County, we haven't forgotten about you, but the severe weather threat is lowering as we speak in Dripping Springs and Wood Creek and Wimberley. We do have this persistent shower activity coming in from the southwest, so we'll watch that for maybe some flash flood potential down the road, but it doesn't look like it's too intense rainfall. It's just mainly moderate to at times heavier downpours moving in through the area. A report from just 2 miles south of Georgetown, this is in Williamson County, of thunderstorm damage. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. Public reports, it says, an estimated wind gust of 60 miles per hour 2 miles south of Georgetown as these thunderstorms moved on through. So that's why we're on the air. Sometimes Doppler radar will pick up on these intense winds, but those intense winds stay above the surface. But these mix down. They got closer to the surface starting in northwestern Travis County and then moved across much of Williamson County and continue to shift off towards the east. So again, we still could have embedded wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour with this thunderstorm activity as it continues to make its way off towards the east. All right, that severe thunderstorm warning for Williamson County has been canceled. So here's what we're going to do so our friends in the back know the game plan. We're going to send you back to programming right now. We're going to come back on TV if any other warnings pop up, all right? But our coverage continues now on all of our digital platforms. So we're streaming right now on KVUE.com, the KVUE News app. That's an important thing to download on your phone. We're also streaming on the Twitter page, the Facebook, and YouTube Live. So our coverage continues there now, but for now we send you back to regular scheduled programming here on the TV side. Have a good afternoon. Okay, so everybody, we are here on all of our platforms. Thanks for hanging out with us through that warning. That warning has since been canceled. And apologies for whenever we started this, we had some audio issues. We've got a brand new fancy system that we're still fine tuning, but I'm glad we were able to get it all worked out and able to hang out with you. So it's 3:50 right now. If we do get any additional warnings, we're going to jump back on TV because we want to make sure all of the audience, whether they are fancy like you with your smart device or maybe they rely on over the air. I know, like, grandparents, my grandma has an iPhone, but, some grandparents don't have that luxury or don't have that kind of technology. So either way, we want to make sure whether you're on digital or TV, you know what's going on. So no active warnings right now. That's the good news. The two things that you need to know about at this hour are low water crossing issues because of this heavy rainfall. That's number one. And number two is the strong winds that continue to move into our eastern counties. We're getting some reports there on Doppler radar of potentially wind gusts above 40 miles per hour. Moving into Bastrop County, and may even see some heavier pockets of wind as this thunderstorm line shifts off towards the east. So, Jason, thanks for hanging out.
Of course.
You got anything on your side over there, on that other side of the Weather Center?
I haven't seen anything yet that is, as of yet, that is new. But again, as that good news is that severe thunderstorm warning has since expired. I've been keeping a close eye on people's posts here on our Facebook Live specifically. There's some people like Leander, they've said that they've caught a bit of a break, which is a good news for them because they've certainly got some low water crossings out there as well. I have also pulled up Austin Energy to just monitor the power outages. That has also been kept to a minimum. This could be intensified. We could have some more outages over the next half hour or so. And we did have a report that there was an outage on Mopac and Steck, and we're on Mopac and Steck, so we haven't really experienced that as well. But
yeah, I'm looking at the live cameras right behind you, and actually, let me see if I can route those in.
Yeah,
so,
we do
our audience can
appreciate
see
you
it.
guys letting us know this too. Some of the traffic cams you were just noticing, Albert.
Yeah, yeah, right behind
Very
you.
heavy rainfall. Where I'm looking at one here now on 183 and Loop 1. Extremely heavy rainfall.
There it is, everybody. This is a TxDOT camera, 183 Mopac area. This is just about a mile and a half away from KVUE. And this is looking off towards the south. So domain would be on the backside of this camera, and then you're looking off towards north central Austin. So there's traffic out there because we're getting closer to rush hour. And let me show you the other TxDOT camera. Sorry to cut you off there, Jason. I just wanted,
that's okay.
wanted everyone to see it. There's the other one that you were just talking about. This is Mopac and Anderson Lane. We have like two cameras like right next to each other.
We're well dialed in. Well dialed in, the people.
He's going to take a look at something else. Well, we've got Mopac between 183 interchange and Anderson covered like nobody's business. But anyway, we'll come back and we'll take a look at those cameras. I'm going to show you the downtown camera here in just a second. Boop. There you go. There's downtown. Things are getting a lot quieter here in Austin. The good news is that the strongest line of thunderstorms, again, is beginning to shift away from the interstate. Interstate's going to have ponding. It's going to be slick. So we'll probably get some car accidents. Don't be one of those people. Slow down. But the good news is the heaviest rainfall is beginning to shift out of the areas. That's a look at, can you load Oasis in that computer? I'm going to take that. We'll take a look at the Oasis. That's a look at atxfloods.com. And Oasis should be popping up at any moment now. There it is.
And I'll say a quick PSA moment too, Albert, is, folks are going to be on the roadways too, and just slowing down the speeds. We cannot emphasize that enough. And also reminding them to turn on the headlights. If in the event of very heavy rain that you can't really see too much far in front of you, but having those headlights on can help others see you as well.
Yeah, good advice. Now, I think you're good for now, Andrew. If we get any more warnings, I'll let you know. Okay? I'm gonna load that now. I'm talking to my executive producer in my ear, and he's saying that he's gonna leave this up for us. This is our executive producer's home up in the Leander area, and he said his family is safe, but this was taken during the first part of this hour, closer to 3 o'clock, and you can see the intense winds coming on in. We had ground reports in Leander and also Georgetown. Wind gusts with this thunderstorm around 50 to 60 miles per hour. So that's why we were on TV, and that's why we're hanging out with you here this afternoon. Let's look at the live radar scan. No active warnings right now.
Hey, Albert, we had a report of a large tree reported down in Georgetown on Leander Road. That's just west of I-35.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know, you had those ground reports 50 to 60. Can you put that on Slack?
Sure.
50 to 60 miles per hour. Bring down trees, and as those trees come down, power lines can come down, and then you've got some problems. And that's why we're doing this digital coverage for you, just to make sure you don't have power. You want to be updated. You want to know what's going on, and that's why we're here for you. All right. So there's a look at the latest thunderstorm activity. This is moving through eastern Williamson County and moving into western Milam County. This is a strong thunderstorm. It's right over Lake Granger right now. Let me turn on the nearest radar there. I mean, it's right on top of the radar dome. That's why you kind of see. I'll take off the lightning data. You can see how it kind of fans out. That's the radar dome right in there. Right in here, this thunderstorm could still be producing some intense winds. Let's take a look at the Doppler radar winds. It's super, super close. Below severe weather limits, but I wouldn't be surprised if you still had some wind gusts 40, 45 miles per hour. And I'm going to actually query this, see what the radar side is saying. Yeah, so, okay, less than that. That's good. That's good. But maybe at times some stronger wind gusts. That pixel's picking up over 30 mile per hour winds. So my producer's saying we've got a new picture. This is Leander Round Mountain Road. Look at this tree down here. This is the same area that had to deal with those intense winds, 50 to 60 miles per hour. You can see that these are pretty big branches. This looks like maybe a radius of 3 inches or something like that. It's a pretty good limb. That's on top of a vehicle. So, and it's hard to tell, but maybe towards the bottom center of the photo, maybe some like broken out glass or something. Yeah, it looks like maybe the back of a sedan, and with there you go, circling it. Thank you, Andrew. Oof, rough day for those folks. The good news is that the severe weather threat is lowering for counties along the interstate. And the reason why we're sticking with you is because our friends east of the interstate are still in the mix of things. So we're going to see what these thunderstorms do as they continue to move through Caldwell, Bastrop, Lee, Milam, and Fayette County. The atmosphere there is a little bit more prime. It's got a lot more humidity, a lot more juice in the air, if you will. And we'll see what these thunderstorms do as they continue to move off towards the east. We got this persistent rain coming in from the southwest. So it's going to be a damp late afternoon and at least first part of the evening. What you see moving from west to east, that's the surface baseline. So that's close to the surface. That's where the severe weather would be. And then this stuff, see how it's kind of shooting in from the southwest? That's probably mid-level activity. So maybe 20 to 25,000 feet up, you got a weak disturbance, and you see these little southwesterly showers coming on in and moving off towards the northeast. So these are the showers that are going to be with us. Yeah, occasional cloud ground lightning, on and off rain, but these behind the main line won't be severe. If they can add up, to an inch, 2 inches, could cause some flash flooding concerns, but at this point we don't even have any flash flood warnings, which is awesome news too. And Jason, we just have some flood advisories, and that's just to give folks a heads up of low water crossing issues and stuff like that.
Correct.
There's a look at the temperatures right now, again cooling and getting a lot more stable to the west of the interstate. So we are on Facebook Live. We're streaming everywhere. If you have a comment or question, I'm monitoring the Facebook Live. I know that some of you may be commenting on Twitter and stuff. I guess I can pull that up, and even on YouTube. But if you're wondering why I'm ignoring you if you're on those other platforms, I'm at the moment just looking at YouTube. I'm sorry, on Facebook. Okay, so Molly Oak is in the storm chaser. We'll just take her live shot, and she's in North Austin, Andrew, on the way to Georgetown. And I can control that on my end. What RM is she in? 93. Oh, but there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Director. And where's she again, Andrew? Sorry. Okay, great. So Molly appears like she's on I-35, and she's moving out of Travis County and approaching Williamson County. And she's going to take a look at some of these damage reports that we've received. At this point, it's mainly minor damage. It's winds that have blown some fences down. It's winds that have brought down tree limbs. And we say minor damage, but if it's your fence in your backyard and you're going to have to pay a few $100s, it's not so minor. Or like we saw that picture with a large tree limb on top of a car and the back windshield broken out. That's not minor damage either, but hopefully that person has insurance, but still a pain in the neck. So that's where the Storm Chaser is, and Storm Chaser is going to be out and about for our 5 and 6 o'clock newscasts as well. And our game plan is to kind of hang with you through the top of the 5. And what we may do, and we're good on WX5 now? We can be. So Director, you let me know when we need to switch over from this to our system. And we'll do that. We have to relieve the control room at some point so they can get ready for the newscast, and then we'll switch over to our system, and hopefully it's working now. We'll find out. If it's not, the engineer is fired. He's out here. No, he's done a great job, and we're just working out all the kinks and stuff. So most intense thunderstorm right now is pushing through eastern Williamson County into western areas of Milam County. That's intense downpours. That's a lot of cloud ground lightning. I'm going to actually show you how many cloud ground lightning strikes we've picked up in just this box. There have been nearly 300 cloud ground lightning strikes with this thunderstorm activity. So that's a mean storm, but below severe weather limits. We'll take a look at hail tracker, and hail tracker showing this little bit of gray. That's pea-size hail, real small hail. So that's good. And we'll take a look at if there's any kind of rotation. We call this our shear product, and that's lighting up a bit, but we'll take a look at the radar scan. And no real tight rotation. That's the good news. Getting indications, some intense winds right here. This is intense winds between Lake Granger and Thorndale, real close to the radar site, so this is going to be pretty accurate. Anytime you start to see these little yellows start to pop up, those are winds getting over 50 miles per hour, and those have really just popped up. So we're going to keep an eye on this velocity scan, and if we continue to see these brighter colors increase, this may be the next warning. So if you are in Milam County, in particular western or northwestern Milam County, this thunderstorm is strong, and it's moving in like this. And again, you see these yellows pop up. That last scan, look at that, that's a brand new scan. So these are intense winds that are increasing with this thunderstorm right in here. So this may be the area of our next warning. We'll kind of query one of these pixels. So radar is picking up 55 mile per hour winds. To be considered severe, it needs to be 58 miles per hour or higher. So this is a strong storm, yes, and it's only getting stronger as these thunderstorms are moving into Milam County. So from Thorndale northward along 79, even Rockdale and Cameron, watch this thunderstorm as it's moving a little bit closer to you. Here's what it looks like on the reflectivity scan. It's a lot more impressive on the velocity scan. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and we'll get a new scan here in the next couple of minutes. And if we see those brighter colors, and the Weather Service sees those brighter colors, they may go ahead and issue a warning for that. We'll see if that happens. That's out of the Dallas-Fort Worth National Weather Service office. They take care of Milam County. So just to kind of give you some storm reports that have come in, and I'll zoom out and I'll plot these for you. We've had wind gusts anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour in Leander and Georgetown. We had some hail a little bit earlier on, not too far from the Horseshoe Bay area. This was nickel-size hail, and you can see some hail south of Fredericksburg along I-10 in Kerr County. But no storm reports with the main line, at least not at the moment. Had not just video, but also reports of at least some small hail. And looks like we got a new little icon near Georgetown. Let me see what this one is. This is a large tree blown over. This is what Jason was just mentioning a few minutes ago. Large tree blown over on Leander Road, west of IH-35. This is in the Georgetown area. And that happened at 3:20, so about 43 minutes ago as that line of thunderstorms moved in. And there's the other thunderstorm report just south of Georgetown along I-35 of a 60 mile per hour wind gust. And here's the report from earlier at 3:11 when those severe storms were moving through Leander of a train spotter reporting 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So that was a mean storm. It has since pulsed down, is weakened. But one thing that we've seen on the last couple of radar scans, it's starting to pulse back up again. So this is eastern Williamson County, western and northwestern sections of Milam County. We'll turn on the velocity mode, and still getting indications here with these little yellow pixels of some wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. We'll get an official word from the Weather Service. They're watching this one, but we'll see if they decide to continue it. Jason, is your microphone on still?
Yes, should be on.
What are you seeing? Give me an update on what you got.
So it's been interesting to kind of see how things have been trending in terms of our temperatures and our dew points, because as this front moves through it, so it's cutting down the dew points, it's kind of igniting some of that energy and blasting that through the area as it moves through and moves over to the east here. So we've already seen temperatures now out in the hill country in the 50s, we've got 60s, we've got 70s, and certainly dew point temperatures still in the 70s out ahead of that. I'm going to pull up right now and see what the wind gusts have been so far today, because we've already had those wind gusts up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So we want to see what that looks like area wide for some residents across the area. As we get these wind gusts moving through, it should be interesting to note too that because we have those strong wind gusts, that could also limit the visibility that's on the roadways as well for people that are traveling. So at least for the Georgetown area, as of right now, we've had wind gusts over 30 miles per hour, 35 out in Fredericksburg, and even here in the Austin metro, we've had wind gusts again over 30 miles per hour as well. So some of the heaviest wind gusts, we're still yet to confirm that from National Weather Service, but that has put down trees, that put down limbs, and we've also had a couple power outages as well reported by Austin Energy. Hasn't been too terribly widespread though, so that's good news for us, at least at this point, because that enables people to still get these weather alerts and get some of the advisories that are still coming out. We don't have any sort of warnings in effect right now. We still do have that flash flood advisory, at least that flood advisory for portions of the Austin metro, including portions of Travis, Hayes, Williamson County. That is in effect. That is still in effect at least until 5:45 this evening. So we still have just about an hour and 40 minutes left on that. So that includes Austin, Barton Creek, Bee Cave, and also Briar Cliff. Just to the north and east of the area, just east of, let's see, I-35, routes 95, 79, 77, 190. You can see that very, very heavy line of showers and thunderstorms moving through. That is to the north and east of Holland, just to the east of Granger, Thorndale, also Taylor residents. You guys have been sounding off on social media, letting us know what you're receiving in that area. Very heavy rainfall. Pea-sized hail has been our main threats for today as well, and also those low water crossings. So wrapping everything together, as Alberto was just saying earlier, these are major concerns for us. As it's putting down this very heavy rainfall, these low water crossings can be easily closed and could be closed rapidly. I suspect over the next hour or so, as people are getting on the roadways and as they're going to be heading home here, they're also going to be encountering some of these flash flooding and ponding on the roadways, both primary and also secondary, Albert.
Jason, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's always fun when you have a friend on a stormy day. And the good news, everybody, is that no, there's no warnings right now. We still are on a severe thunderstorm watch, meaning that conditions are favorable for development of additional severe weather. I'm really Williamson County into northern areas of Bastrop County, western areas of Bastrop County. Getting some questions on the Facebook Live of how your neighborhood is doing, and places like Round Rock, you're good. The severe weather threat moving away from you. Georgetown, same thing. We've got these showers, though, moderate showers coming in from the southwest. So it's not like this is going to push out and we're going to dry out. The severe weather threat may be coming to an end as far as hail and wind goes, but we're going to have that persistent rain continuing to come in from the southwest. And that's why we're going to have at least the potential for some flash flooding, already getting reports of numerous low water crossings kind of moving on in. Sound is back, Joy says. Okay, good to hear. So if you have a question or a comment, I've got you covered here, and we're going to stay with you for about the next hour up until the start of the newscast, just to make sure that everybody is in the know on what's going on. It has been a little bit busy this afternoon. Only one warning this afternoon. We had one this morning. Actually, we had two this morning, one in Gillespie County and one in portions of southern Bastrop and portions of Fayette County. But the last warning was in Williamson County. That warning has since been discontinued, and we're just keeping an eye on the radar scans as these thunderstorms are moving through Milam County. But if you are in Georgetown, Austin, San Marcos, westward, you still got showers, but the severe weather threat is decreasing. Just want you to be mindful of low water crossings. All right, here's a look at the last couple of scans on the Doppler radar. A little bit of broad rotation with this thunderstorm to the north of Thorndale. This thunderstorm is moving off towards the northeast. So if you're in the Thorndale area, especially just north of Thorndale, near Cameron, near Milano, near Rockdale, let's watch this thunderstorm because we're getting at least some indications of some rotation. Our shear product is picking that up as well. It's just has not had a great severe weather season. As you know, we've had over the last 4 weeks, 3 EF0 tornadoes in this county, going back to the Cap 10 weekend, that Saturday, 2, one in San Gabriel, one northeast of Cameron. And then the weekend before last, the weekend before Easter weekend, we had that tornado that moved out of northeastern Milam County into Robertson County. Not saying that's going to happen again, but I know our friends in Milam County, even though most of you can't watch us on TV, but a lot of you rely on us on our digital coverage. We're going to keep an eye on the radar for you here this afternoon, just because this is a strong thunderstorm and is showing at least signs of some broad rotation at the moment. Tight rotation would be indication of potential for damage. I'm just keeping an eye. Okay, there you go. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning just popped up. We were just talking about this. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for the entire county of Milam. If you can tweet that out, mister, and I'll retweet you and Facebook you. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock for Milam County. The main threats would be straight line winds of 60 miles per hour. This is the same thunderstorm that we were tracking over an hour ago that was moving out of northwestern Travis County into Williamson County, moved over Leander and Georgetown, weakened a little bit as it moved into eastern Williamson County, and now it's back to severe weather limits for Milam County. So all locations in Milam County, Rockdale, Cameron, Milano, San Gabriel, all included in the severe thunderstorm warning. This is a thunderstorm that's moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour, currently located near Thorndale, or about 9 miles west of Rockdale. And again, it's moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 60 miles per hour will be possible. And on top of that, we're going to keep an eye on at least a little bit of rotation. Let me load the Granger radar. It's not super tight, but I'm seeing at least a little bit of broad rotation right in here. The most intense part of the thunderstorm, these severe thunderstorm warnings that have just been posted, is because of these pixels. We were talking about this, 10 minutes ago, coming out of Williamson County. These little pixels here that you see in yellow are potentially wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So we'll put this into motion, and you'll see how it is moving into western areas of Milam County. Some strong winds right along 79 between Thorndale and Rockdale. If you are in Rockdale, this severe thunderstorm is headed your direction on its current heading, and if it looked like this as it continues to move off towards the east, the most intense part of it may stay just south of Cameron, but that's something that we'll keep an eye on. Even let's slow this down. As you'll see, we'll slow this very slow. You'll kind of see, this is just an hour loop. You'll kind of see see that kind of little bit of rotation in the last few frames. So that's just something that we're going to keep an eye on as that continues to move off to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So making sure that everyone is updated. That's why we're here on the Facebook Live and on our app and on KVUE.com. And for those that aren't watching, we're getting this tweeted out and Facebooked out. Make sure that people know what's happening as well. This is the only warning right now for the area. We'll zoom out and I'll show you the rest of the area. It's a mean thunderstorm, but it's the meanest one on the radar right now. The rest of the activity is mainly just moderate to heavy downpours, stretching from eastern Travis County into western areas of Bastrop County and moving to the east. It's raining right now in Lockhart, about to pick up in Luling. We've got rain and thunder, but non-severe. This is A-OK if you're in Hayes County, Kyle and Buda, and then stretching down towards Comal County and Bexar County. We've just got these persistent showers coming in from the southwest. A little bit of lightning increasing right now in southern areas of Travis County, and those are going to continue to move off towards the east as well. So we're on this now. We're on VMix now. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we're back to our system. We've relieved the control room. So control room, you're good. I've got it on my system now. And everybody, if audio sounds good, let us know, and we'd appreciate it. This is like day 2 of us debuting this new awesome technology, and we're just getting the gremlins, so to say, out of the system. So it's really, really awesome. I don't want to give too much away just in case the competitors are watching. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you what's happening. Here's a look at where these thunderstorms were when they were in Leander about an hour ago. Straight line winds, intense rainfall. Had reports in the Leander area of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. That same thunderstorm is now severe and moving into places like Milam County. That's where we have that severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in effect for Milam County. That is a mean thunderstorm coming on in Rockdale. The worst of it, though, for Thorndale is moving away from you. I'll show you velocity scan. Got a new scan there. Broad rotation. There's no tornado warning on this, but straight line winds certainly a possibility here along Highway 79, and that thunderstorm moving to the northeast at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So we'll keep it on this. That looks good. So you can see me and see the radar full. There's the thunderstorm that's moving on in. Only warning right now. Milam County is technically not in our television market, so that's why we're not jumping on TV. Some folks there can see us over the air. And if for some reason there was a tornado warning, we'd jump in the air just in case somebody could see us. But that's why we continue our digital coverage, just to let you know what's happening here. It is going to be a soggy peak of rush hour. Peak of rush hour, 45 minutes away for the 5 o'clock drive. So it's going to be a mess. But the severe weather threat is decreasing for the metro. That's good news. If you're going to see any additional severe thunderstorm warnings, it's going to be here on the leading edge, right in here. And these thunderstorms on the leading edge, about to move into Bastrop, about to move into McDade, approaching Giddings, Lincoln, and Lexington, and moving into the Dale area there in Caldwell County. These are non-severe. They're really not even strong. It's just moderate rain and some gusty winds. It's this thunderstorm. You can just tell by the amount of lightning that we have right now with this thunderstorm that it is a mean storm. As a matter of fact, what I can do, I'll show you how many lightning strikes have occurred. Near 360 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes just in the last 15 minutes with that thunderstorm that continues to kind of pinwheel up towards the northeast. So the worst of it is going to be making its way into Rockdale within the next 5 minutes. So what you want to do in situations like this, if you are in Rockdale, if you're in a room that doesn't have windows, you're going to be fine, especially if it's a site-built structure. The reason why you want to be away from windows is, like we saw in Leander and Georgetown, you get a tree branch come down, it breaks out the window, you don't want to get cut up. So you kind of treat these straight line wind events similar to what you do with tornadoes, just a room, site-built structure, first floor, no windows. If you're there, you're going to be fine. Even if the room doesn't have a TV, again, we're streaming. I guess we're not on TV right now anyway, so it don't matter. But you're streaming, so you can take your smart device and we'll be able to let you know what's going on. So you're going to talk? All right. Let's go to Jason. And Jason, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load
You catch a break. That's what you do.
I'm going to load your Max computer. Or is that Max 3 or
cool.
Max 2?
Cool. This is Max 2 that I'm on right now. So let's talk about some of these. Let's talk about some of these low water crossings here, because the flash flooding is something that I particularly am concerned about when it comes to our area residents. I know that we are in flash flood alley. We tell the kids that all the time when we're going to some of these school visits. So I want to touch on first and foremost these low water crossings, but I will first remind you too also what we have in effect. So we do have that flash flood watch in effect until midnight tonight. On top of that, severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the Austin Metro until 7 p.m. tonight as well. So you can see that on your screen right now. We got that up on digital, and as Albert was saying, that is sort of that Pepto-Bismol color that we always talk about here on KVUE. And on top of that, that flood advisory in effect until about 5:45 as well. So taking a look at some of these low water crossings here. So you can see up in the Leander area, we do have that one that I think this was the first one that came out for us at County Road 177.
I think I'm on the wrong computer. Which one are you on? You're on 2.
I'm on Max 2 here.
Is that?
That's actually 3.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You can only show Max. You're not mirroring the screen.
Okay,
yeah, I was wondering what you were. what you were looking at.
I thought you could pull this over here.
No.
So maybe just everybody just turn on your ears here. So we'll talk about that. So we got that County Road 177 at Brushy Creek. That's in Leander. Then we have Ridgemar Road in Brushy Creek as well. That low water crossing has been closed. 2400 Sumac Lane, I believe that's the way you pronounce that, and 805 Cedar Park Drive, also in Cedar Park. So we had very heavy rainfall that dumped through with that cell that moved through a little bit about a half hour to 45 minutes ago. Over in the Round Rock area, Nash Street West, so that's at Lake Creek. That low water crossing has been closed, and also Summit Street at Brushy Creek as well. So as Albert was saying, the only warning that we haven't affected is sort of outside of our viewing area. That's why we're not on air. But that severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5 p.m. for this evening. That's for the entire Milam County area. So very heavy, intense rainfall, also lightning moving through as well. A lot of lightning embedded within this storm system. So routes 77, also 190, completely coated in terms of heavy rainfall at this hour.
I can put up max 2 if you want to drive the radar on your computer.
Sure. That would be great too.
There you go.
All right, so let's dive in here. Let's talk about what we're picking up right now in terms of our rainfall here. So that Milam County severe thunderstorm warning, gusts up to about 50 to 60 mile per hour. Lots of lightning associated with that as well. So you can see there are people affected. Nearly just over 16,000 people affected with this storm system here. So anybody in this area, so this includes Cameron, and within this polygon, Elevation, Thorndale residents, you're included in this as well. Bartlett, now you are outside of this polygon, but overall here, you're not completely out of the picture when it comes to the heavy rainfall. But as this storm system moves over to the north and east there, you can expect that Zipperlandville, Fremont, also Hearn area residents, Milano area residents, and Rita area residents could certainly be impacted as the storm gains energy and moves off to the north and east as well. On top of that, again, the flash flooding concern for us here. We do still have for our residents back in the south and west or western areas of the Austin metro, Blanco County. You can see Blanco County still under that flood advisory. That's until 4:45, so just about another 25 minutes or so. Blanco, Bern, Johnson City, Kendall County is also included in that until 4:45. Austin Metro residents, also IH-35 corridor, no warnings for you, but certainly still some limited visibility out there on the roadways. So looking at Loop 1 at Barton Skyway right now, traffic is backed up both northbound and also southbound with very wet roadways. Not a whole lot of rainfall down in that neck of the woods, but still traffic is, people down there are going to be certainly pumping those brakes and pumping them for quite a while once they are navigating south and also north of the area. Just to the south of the Austin metro, I'm zooming in right now on the Buda area. You got some lightning moving through as well on 45 and also 290, but nothing too terrible though. But again, our main threat right now is the Milam area. That warning, severe thunderstorm warning, in effect for the next 40 minutes or so until 5 p.m. this evening. National Weather Service is saying our strongest line of thunderstorms is now pushing east out of Williamson County, so that's good news for the east for the Williamson County residents there. You can see that on radar. Georgetown, Round Rock, you're included in that as well. There is a chance that when the front reaches the southeastern counties in the Texas coastal plains, they say stronger storms could fire off in the warm sector. So we still not totally out of gate. Again, that severe thunderstorm watch is going into this evening here. But as it stands right now, Albert, only one severe thunderstorm warning, and that's outside of our view here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we just tweeted out that new information there. Again, just a few minutes ago, the severe thunderstorm was not too far from Thorndale, but now beginning to make its way into Rockdale, moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Main concern with this thunderstorm in Milam County is the potential for wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. Have seen this thing rotate at least a little bit. Thankfully, it's not rotating as much as we saw just about 15 minutes ago, but it's definitely straight line winds. I know some of you, I was just looking on our Facebook chat. There's a few of you watching from Rockdale. Judy Rogers is in Rockdale. So Judy, if you can give us a report, but this thing is moving in as we speak, and the heavy rainfall and the intense winds will be picking up in Rockdale momentarily. And you can see here, anytime you see these hues, these pink hues, it means that the radar is starting to indicate hail, and that's a look at hail tracker. You can see the blues starting to pop up. This is probably below severe weather limits, but something we're going to keep an eye on. But you'll have some hail move through Rockdale and come pretty close to Cameron. It appears that the worst part of the thunderstorm may stay just south of Cameron. Kind of keeping an eye on, just the south of Cameron. May have a Cameron mailing address, but this intense winds looks like it may stay just south of you. This is moving through Rockdale. Right now it's moving through Rockdale. Right now, that new scan will update here momentarily in the next couple of minutes. There's a look at the there you go. There's a live radar from the Granger site. George, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate the update there. George is watching from Colleen. Says he's got heavy rainfall right now. And the good news is we continue to just monitor one severe thunderstorm warning, and it's up there in Milam County. So let's say you're in the Austin Metro, Williamson County, Travis County, Hayes County. It's 4:24. You want to go to HEB, you want to go pick up the kids, you want to get out, and you need to do something. The severe weather threat is coming to an end for the Metro. So if you live along the I-35 corridor, the threat of damaging winds and hail is coming to an end. The threat of tornadoes is coming to an end. Only thing that you've got to watch out for is if your travel plans take you to a low water crossing or several low water crossings that are now starting to close because of it. And I can actually show it to you. Look at this, atxfloods.com. All those red dots right there showing some low water crossings. The majority right now are near the Leander area and just around Round Rock. So if you're in Williamson County in particular, just be mindful of low water crossings. We're still in pretty good shape here in Travis County. We'll take a look at the outage map, see if there's any outages across the area. Looks like there's just a handful of outages between Anderson Mill and Jollyville, kind of right off of 183 and 45. Not too far from the Lakeline area, that part of Williamson and Travis County, and a little bit of outages there. But the worst of this thunderstorm has stayed north of Austin, and now again our severe weather threat is coming to an end, which is good news. But we're going to hang with you here through the 5 o'clock, and then what we'll do is we'll go from our live stream here to the 5 o'clock news, 6 o'clock news, and I think by then the severe weather threat is going to be over for a lot of us. So. Terry is in the Rockdale area, and Terry says heavy rain, wind picking up in Rockdale. Rain so heavy it looks like we are in deep fog. Wow, yeah, so this is that severe thunderstorm that we're watching moving through Milam County right now. Same exact storm. It's been one problem child this afternoon, and it's this one. This is the same strong storm that we started monitoring towards the start of our Facebook Live that was in northwestern Travis County, not too far from 620. It was strong, and then it moved into Williamson County and became severe. This is the same thunderstorm. It has had the history of producing 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, as well as hail, small hail though, about nickel-sized hail, and also had reports of a 60 mile per hour wind gust in Georgetown. It got weaker as it got closer to Granger, but now it's back up to its tricks again, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for 34 more minutes until the top of the hour. The worst of it's moving right through Rockdale. Cynthia's watching from Rockdale. Terry's watching from Rockdale, and Cynthia's reporting hail. Cynthia, if you can give us a report about how big, if you can safely estimate, I don't want you to go outside or get too close to the window, but it looks like it's the size of a penny or a dime or a nickel. That'd be helpful for us, and we can pass that on to the National Weather Service. Wow, that hail core is really ramping up. Anytime you start to see these bright colors, this is going to be just south of Rockdale, and this could be a quarter-size hail. This is going to be passing right over Highway 77 between Rockdale and Lexington, as it continues to move off towards the northeast at 30 miles per hour. But just in the last couple of minutes, look at that. It went that last scan, some pretty hefty hail in that part of the thunderstorm. That hail core is most likely, the hail core updates every 5 minutes, that hail tracker, I should say. That hail core is probably right on top of 77 right now. Cameron, if anyone is watching from the Cameron area, we'll load the velocity scan. The most intense winds are moving through Rockdale. So for those that are in Rockdale, give us an idea just how intense those winds are. Terry saying the hail there in Rockdale is about dime size, so just below severe weather limits. Could be larger than that, potentially as large as a quarter, 1 inch diameter, south of Rockdale, crossing Highway 77. But there are some strong winds at least being picked up by the Doppler radar right over Rockdale. Look at that. You see those yellows right there. So above the surface, get rid of this warning. I'll query some of these pixels, but at about a couple thousand feet above the surface, it's showing 60 mile per hour winds. And sometimes those 60 mile per hour winds can mix down all the way to where we are. And that's why that warning is out right now for Milam County. So where is this headed? Well, this is going to be making its way towards the northeast. If you're in Milano or if you live south of Cameron, this is where the most intense part of this thunderstorm will be. And then it's going to pinwheel and move into Robertson County. So the Hearn area, the Franklin area, should watch this thunderstorm carefully. Even northern sections of Brazos County, north of Texas A&M, north of Bryan College Station, should keep an eye on that thunderstorm as well. Not tornadic, but it is severe. For the rest of us, let's just do a little tour, since we've got folks watching from all over the area. Williamson County, things are really quieting down. Leander, we got just really some patchy light stuff passing on by, some distant rumbles of thunder. We'll have a few waves of showers for rest of the afternoon into the early evening, but the severe weather threat is over. Just watch out for low water crossings in Leander. Georgetown, passing showers will be in the forecast through the rest of the afternoon and evening as well. So I'm just seeing, I heard our alert system go off. National Weather Service, they're just saying they're going to continue that severe thunderstorm warning for Milam County. Just an update that they're going to continue it through 5 o'clock. They may have, yeah, it looks like they trimmed up a little bit, so nothing really new there. All right, let's go to Travis County. All right, so right over Austin, we've got a band of showers moving on in. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to load our downtown camera. So give me a second. I'm going to route that into my weather computer here. And we'll take it right in this area. You'll be able to see it. There you go. So that is our live downtown camera. We got a passing thunderstorm. This is non-severe, but some lightning and another downpour. I-35 is probably already busy, and what I can do is I'll pin this camera to the northeast a little bit. That way we can actually see if I-35, it's just low visibility with that rain and stuff. It's hard to see I-35. Maybe we'll zoom in and we'll show you what we got. We'll zoom in I-35. Oh, it's real hard to even see any traffic just because we got that shower moving on in. All right, no problem. All right, here's a look at Doppler radar with that shower. Non-severe, moving through Austin right now. Downtown central Austin at the moment. We'll be moving into North Austin shortly. Cloudy ground and lightning, heavy downpour, but non-severe. Hayes County, we've got passing moderate to at times heavy downpours, but non-severe, some rumbles of thunder. And you can see the activity continues to stream in from the southwest. So that's why, again, it's just going to be damp through the 5 o'clock hour, 6 o'clock hour. And then as we get into the evening, 7, 8 o'clock time frame, this stuff will start to scoot on out. And certainly by 11 p.m., I think for the most part, we're done. Caldwell County, same thing, non-severe, moderate shower activity. Got some heavier downpours in and around Bastrop County. Thunder, lightning, some good shower activity not too far from Rosanke, from Bastrop to Rosanke. And that's moving off towards the east. Our friends in Lexington, in northern areas of Lee County, getting that thunderstorm activity. The most intense, though, is still up there in Milam County, moving through Rockdale, approaching Milano right now. Our friends in the Hill Country watching. It's been a pretty quiet afternoon. We had some busy stuff late this morning during midday. Nathan Gogo was tracking that severe thunderstorm coming in out of Kerr County into Gillespie County, but it's really quiet now in that part of the area. We've got passing showers around Blanco, light to at times moderate showers in Johnson City and Round Mountain, Marble Falls, Kingsland, Granite Shoals, same thing. But the severe weather threat is pretty much over, with temperatures cooling out west in the Hill Country, upper 50s and low 60s. And we'll do kind of a wide perspective here. That way you can just see how the river of moisture continues. The line is moving off towards the east, and then we've got these persistent showers coming in from the southwest. 2 watches in place right now. A severe thunderstorm watch for most counties at the KVUE viewing area. Includes all of the Austin Metro until 7 o'clock. We'll likely be trimmed out of that before then. And a flash flood watch in effect for metro counties, Williamson, Travis, Hayes County, and points westward. That's in effect until midnight, just for the potential for some flash flooding. We haven't had any big flash flooding issues, at least not yet. Low water crossing issues, yes, but no real big issues of flash flooding, which is great.
There's a couple of them, Albert, that I want to touch on for the Old Spicewood Springs area. Low water crossing number 12. It is showing caution in that area as well, and also over on Capital Texas Highway, just near the Bull Creek Greenbelt. There's a water crossing over that area as well. I know that is sort of a hot spot for people during this time of year to explore, and I'm sure I can certainly say I hope that no one is out there in that area near that water crossing. But number 12 near the Old Spicewood Springs Road.
You know, we were just talking about how the severe thunderstorm watch was going to be trimmed out before 7 o'clock, and it just happened just about 15 seconds ago. So,
good deal.
As we mentioned, the severe weather threat is coming to an end. It's over now. Williamson, Travis, Hayes County. It's rain. You still want to watch out for low water crossings, but the threat of large hail damage winds, isolated tornadoes is over. Williamson, Travis, and Hayes County. So go about your business. Just take it easy out on the roadway. So metro counties and points westward trimmed out of the severe thunderstorm watch. That severe thunderstorm watch, though, does continue for counties east of the interstate. We'll make that full screen for you. Bastrop, Caldwell, Fayette, Lee County remain under that severe thunderstorm watch until 7 o'clock. May see Caldwell, Bastrop, Lee trimmed out of it before 7 o'clock. They may hang on to Fayette County till it expires. But again, severe weather threat, it's over. Williamson, Travis, Hayes, points westward. We do remain under a flash flood watch, so the only threat for metro and points westward will be that flash flood threat that continues until midnight. But that may even get expired before then, too, because we think the rain's going to be all out of here well before midnight, probably 10, 11 o'clock for most areas, and a lot earlier if you're in the hill country. And it'll be early to mid-evening for the metro. Just plan on a damp late afternoon now through 5 o'clock and evening time as well. So we are at 4:34, and this worked out so well last week, just kind of hanging out with you here on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube Live or the KVUE News app or KVUE.com. And we've got a hot studio, meaning that there's someone in the director's chair in the control room. So if we needed to go on TV, we can go on within seconds. Thankfully, we haven't had to go on for, I guess it's been about 45 minutes now. So that's good. But we're going to hang out with you until the top of the 5 o'clock news either way. So now that we kind of have a little bit of a break in our warnings and stuff like that, now that we're being trimmed out of the watch, I'm going to take a look at some of your comments. Joyce says that your microphone, Jason, keeps cutting in and out. So the engineer got my microphone perfect from earlier. We still got to work on the old backup mic. So if you want to talk, I'll just walk over there and I'll hand you my mic. How about that?
Thank you so much, Albert.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn off your microphone then. And maybe that button worked, maybe it didn't. We'll find out. So then Danelle Lee Wildman says, Wimberley is calming down now. Yep. So Hayes County, the Wimberley area, the dripping area, Kyle, Buda, San Marcos, severe weather threat over. You're going to have these persistent, mainly light to moderate showers come on in, but the severe weather threat is over. And I appreciate you checking in with us. Sharon says there's a big bunch of storms coming in. Well, Sharon, it depends where you're watching from. If you're east of us, you're right. We do have some heavy downpours, but non-severe weather in Lee County and Bastrop County, and that activity is moving off towards the east, towards Fayette County. The only severe thunderstorm warning right now that we can tell you about is up here in Milam County. This is the thunderstorm that has just moved right over Rockdale. Things are getting so much better in Rockdale right now. Still a hail core moving away from Rockdale. I wouldn't be surprised if there is 1-inch diameter hail the size of quarters with this stuff. The hail core is going to stay south of Cameron. And the reason why this warning went up in the first place was a threat of damaging winds. And now that damaging wind threat is about to move into, and I'll put it on here on the map, the community of Milano there in Milam County. So Milano and areas right along 79 to the east of Rockdale. 79 takes you to Hearn out in Robertson County. That severe thunderstorm still capable of producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. And it's moving off towards the northeast at 30 miles per hour. And Hail Tracker is showing the potential for some very large hail with this thunderstorm as well. This is moving away from the metro. So this is going to be moving out of the viewing area shortly. This thunderstorm will be eventually making its way into portions of Robertson and Brazos County within the next 30 minutes. But right now it's in Milam County, and that is, again, right over Highway 79 there in Milam County. So it's still a mean thunderstorm. This has not been a fun severe weather season, and it's only April, only late April for Milam County. Milam County has gotten hit every single week out of the last 3. So we're keeping an eye on the radar for you there in Milam County. While I'm here, let me just see if there's any kind of strong rotation. There's not. I'm going to look at one more thing. No, it's just straight line winds. I mean, there still could be wind gusts, 60 if not a little bit higher, mixing down to the ground. But staying to the south of Cameron. So Cameron, you're included in this warning still, but the worst of the storm, both hail and wind, is south of you. For Rockdale, you're still included in this warning. But as you've noticed, just in the last 5 minutes, things have improved drastically. The heavy stuff has moved on out. You still got lightning, you still got rain, but the worst of the winds and the hail is moving away from Rockdale right now. So let's do a big zoom here, and we'll show you what's going on. Mike, great to comment there. And Mike is bringing up the turnaround, don't drown. And that's what we're keeping an eye on, low water crossings. And every time we've kind of checked back on in, we've seen more red dots. Our area, not just Austin, but our area is so lucky to have this resource. And this is atxfloods.com. This is something that you should bookmark because it will show you real time when low water crossings get closed. And you can see all the red dots, a few not too far from Marble Falls, a cluster near Leander and Cedar Park, a couple near Round Rock, a few in Hayes and Caldwell County, showing you where there are active flash flood, low water crossing issues, and therefore those roads are closed. So that is a fantastic resource and something that you definitely want to bookmark, especially if your travels on a daily basis or even monthly basis take you through a low water crossing. The same ones, Jason, the same ones that always seem to have water on top of them, they're having trouble today, especially up there in Williamson County. Thunderstorms moving through North Austin right now. Rain is picking up here at KVUE, at least a little bit. but the rain is getting better in downtown. I'll show you the downtown camera right here. There you go. There's our downtown camera. We weren't able to see I-35 about 10 minutes ago because we had that downpour come on in, but things are a lot better there. Let's take a look at some of our TxDOT cameras. This is a look at TxDOT 1, I-35, Walnut Creek. Slow go traffic. Traffic's going to be a little bit worse today than it normally is in Austin because of the damp roadways, but at least the worst of the rain is moving on out of here. This is a look at the TxDOT camera. This is Mopac and Barton Skyway. And slow go because of the rainfall here this afternoon. Let's load our camera here at KVUE. This is from outside the KVUE studios, and we should see the rain pick up here momentarily here in Austin with this next little small band of rumbles of thunder and some rain coming on in. And a look at tower camera. I bet we can't see much in tower camera. Yeah, tower camera is stuck in the clouds at about 1,300 feet up in the sky. So no go from the tower camera. But there's a look at our downtown camera. And while I'm thinking about it, as we get closer to the newscast, I'm going to spin that around. I don't know. I forgot what RM she was in. But you got anything new over here?
I wanted to kind of talk about, I'm sure people probably are wondering about the lake levels too, since, this is spring season. We do still have...
I can load that too.
Oh yeah, that would be great. We still do have...
battery pack. There.
Thank you, Albert. We do have Lake Travis still at about 100% too, and also Lake Buchanan at 95%. And people are wondering, at least at this time of year, how the lakes will be significantly impacted. Well, as you were just saying earlier, Albert, Nathan was tracking the activity that moved through. There we go. We got that lake level graphic up right now. So you guys can see there sort of the data that's coming in right now from Lake Travis and also Lake Buchanan. So as Nathan was tracking these storms earlier that moved over the hill country, it's kind of a saving grace for us, at least at this point in the season. We still got to get through May, the month of May, which is the peak of severe weather season. So we can keep that rainwater sort of out of that area and moving through the Highland Lakes. That it kind of be the better for us, because you guys remember back in October of how we were significantly impacted by the very heavy rain over the course of just several hours back in October. So that is going to be helping us. We still do have these lake levels running fairly high, and people do want to get on the lakes, at least while we have this beautiful weather out here. But as it stands right now, the only warnings that we have in effect is for portions of Milam County, and that goes until about 5 p.m. So we still have just about another 20 minutes left as we have this band of showers and thunderstorms moving through. All in all, though, we have had some significant improvement across the Austin Metro. We are no longer under a severe thunderstorm watch for the Austin Metro, the I-35 corridor. So Travis, Hayes, and Williamson County, that has been taken off for us. So that's good news for us. But we still have some possibility for some thunderstorm development over in areas south and east. So that includes Giddings, Bastrop, LaGrange, and even portions of Luling as well.
Yeah, Caldwell County. So I got you set up there on that.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to actually go get ready for the 5 o'clock newscast.
Do you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Albert.
Good to go.
All right, folks. So sound off here. We have had some people comment on our Facebook page, too. I want to keep you guys updated as well about we have some, looks like Caitlin said about 5 branches broke off. Caitlin, where are you specifically in your area? We have had some reports of some trees down, some limbs down as well. We did have a significant report of a large tree that had came down. I believe that's where KVUE's Molly Oak is headed to in the storm chaser right now. That was up on Leander Road, just west of I-35, and that is in the Georgetown area, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the radar here and sort of kind of give you the full scope of what's happening across the Austin Metro in terms of our watches, in terms of our warnings, in terms of our lightning as well. Hill Country residents, Mason, Llano, Gillespie County, you're looking to be okay. If anything, you're just getting a little bit of a light sprinkle out in your area. As far as Burnett County residents, our friends up in Marble Falls area, just some light rainfall for you as well. Leander, I know a lot of people in the Leander, Laga Vista, Lakeline area, you sort of kind of opened up this activity that happened this evening around 3:30 p.m. Very gusty winds that came through there. Also some pea-sized hail. We haven't had any additional reports of pea to penny-sized hail, so that's good news for us. But again, coming off of last week, we're expecting sort of pretty significant hail. Anything that is on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of pea size can only help us and not hinder us. All in all, you can see there for the I-35 corridor, 183.21 just south, just north of Lockhart, 142. Wimberley, you're looking pretty good as well. Starksville, you're looking pretty good. San Marcos residents, not bad for you as well. Dripping Springs, you had some rainfall and some claps of thunder in your area. That's also looking pretty well. Our Round Rock residents, we do have some people up in Round Rock this evening that's going to be commuting possibly down towards the city, going home, or east or west of the city as well. Round Rock residents, you're not looking too bad as well this evening. We do have another band that you can see there moving just north of the area, stretching from Hamilton Pool, Hudson Bend, across 183, just to the south of Round Rock. That could bring you an additional, perhaps quarter of an inch of rainfall at most or so. It's going to be quickly moving, so not going to be that bad as it moves on through the area and gets out of the area. Over in Elgin, just a couple lightning bolts I can see there for your area, just south of the city. Camp Swift, Page, McDade, not looking that bad as well. As we continue to watch this Milam County severe thunderstorm warning, expect to receive some heavy rainfall in that area and lots of lightning. Just look at all this lightning that's coming through right now. So area residents over Milano, Rockdale, just south of Cameron, over near Hearn, that is moving towards you. Anyone within this polygon you can see here is certainly going to be receiving some heavy rainfall. So what we're tracking is 60 mile per hour wind gusts, penny-sized hail expected there. So you can expect possibly some damage to roofs, siding, or perhaps even some tree limbs coming down as well. So anybody over there, make sure you're within a sturdy structure and keeping away from windows too. Going back to some of your comments here and see, kind of checking in what everybody is seeing. Sharon asks, how's the weather coming in? Sharon, let me know exactly where you are so we can kind of pinpoint what you're expecting for the rest of the evening. I do suspect what we're going to be tracking, at least through the drive at 5, possibly near bedtime, 6, 7 p.m., is a possibility that some of these storms could be weakening. They could be headed out of the area. Get that front moving on through. That's going to help stabilize the atmosphere behind that level of low pressure. Some isolated showers, again, could be possible at least through the late evening and possibly turning into early morning hours near daybreak tomorrow. Again, don't expect it to be heavy. Don't expect anything to more or less be severe for the remainder of the day as well. That severe thunderstorm watch that we did have across the Austin metro has been expired. So Travis Hayes, Williamson County has now come out of that, and we just have a little bit of lingering watches across the area as it stands right now. So there you go. You can see where the current watches are. All the areas that are shaded in green, that green color indicates a flood watch. That is until, I believe, 7 p.m. tonight. And also that severe thunderstorm watch, that is in effect as well. You can see for those counties shaded in sort of that pink color also. Some of the hail reports that we received in, again, has been fairly low, though. Nothing really too heavy. There is also the possibility that we could still have some low-level rotation associated with this Milam County storm. So that's the latest that we're keeping a close eye on as it stands right now. I will point out to you, I will pull up, at least at this point, to show, zooming back in on this Milam County storm. So area residents over in this area, going to keep a close eye on that for you. I want to pop up and see what National Weather Service is trending, at least for that area there. Seems as though a severe thunderstorm watch could be extended through 10 p.m. for Robertson and Leon counties there. Otherwise, that one severe cluster over Milam County, that's just our main threat to be south of that area through at least the evening. So we're likely looking that they could be canceling that a little bit earlier. But again, it depends on the structure of the storm and how dynamic the storm is going to be and the strength of it as we go through the evening hours. So we still have just about 13 more minutes for this severe thunderstorm warning for Milam County. So there has been some, I just clicked and opened some more low water crossings across the area. This is over near Spicewood Springs Road. Anybody over in Spicewood Springs Road, let me know what you are seeing and experiencing in your area. So we got a low water crossing number 7. That is on Spicewood Road, and also number 6. That's near St. Edward Park. A little bit further south there, low water crossing number 4 as well. That is going to be at the intersection of, looks like, Yaw Pond Drive, number 2, and also number 1. So anybody over on near the Spicewood Springs Road, near Bull Creek Greenbelt, make sure to avoid that area because there are certainly some low water crossings that have been canceled, and also likely some flash flooding in that area as well. Mopac northbound, you can see there over Schofield Ridge Parkway, there's a low water crossing near you too that has been closed, or at least expressing some caution near that area.
I'll take over here.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm all ready for the newscast now. So everybody, here's the game plan. Here in just a couple of minutes, we're going to turn off the microphones and get ready for the 5 o'clock news. I'm going to do a reset here. That way, if you're just now jumping on, you know what's happening. The bottom line is the severe weather threat has come to an end if you're here in Austin. Williamson, Travis, Hays County, and points westward in the Hill Country, that severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled. We do have still a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 7 p.m. for Lee, Bastrop, Fayette, and Caldwell County, and then points down to the south. Again, that's until 7 o'clock. I have a feeling, though, we will likely see that be discontinued even before 7 o'clock, as these line of showers and thunderstorms are now shifting away from the I-35 corridor. And really the heaviest activity, and it's below severe weather limits and really not even strong, are from Lee County through Bastrop County, pushing through Smithville right now, and within the next couple of minutes headed towards Fayette County. So if you're watching us from LaGrange and Schulenburg, Latonia, places like Round Top and Carmine, we've got some heavy downpours headed towards you, but these are below severe weather limits. The only severe thunderstorm warning that we have in the area is this one, still in Milam County. This is right around the Milano area and about to make its way into extreme northern areas of Brazos County and portions of Robertson County near the Hearn area. Hail trackers still showing a pretty good hail core moving in that part of Milam County, but that's going to be spinning out of the area shortly. And as far as winds go, we'll take a look at velocity scan here. Still some straight line winds, but nothing really all that strong as we saw just about 20 minutes ago. So there's the new warning that we were just saying, and this does include portions of northern Burleson County and Brazos County. That does include the communities of Bryan, College Station. Texas A&M University is included in that warning. So that is the severe weather threat that's beginning to shift away from our area. Thunderstorm activity is going to continue here across Austin, but below severe weather limits. It's mainly just moderate rainfall with cloud and ground lightning. So we're getting ready for the 5 o'clock news. I'm going to leave the radar up, but mute our microphone. Join us on KVUE.com, the KVUE News app, and of course on TV. We'll have more on this. But the bottom line is things are going to get better out there. Be careful with low water crossings. Be careful with slick roadways. But the severe weather threat is coming to an end here across the I-35 corridor. We're going to keep an eye on the potential for a strong and severe thunderstorm in a place like Bastrop, Lee, and Fayette County, but that activity at this point is well below severe weather limits. So we'll leave you with a live look, full screen of our Doppler radar. And we hope you have a good rest of the day, everybody. And we'll see you on the 5 o'clock news here in just a few minutes.